Hey guys, Vika here, and you're with the Modern Creatures. Today we're talking about something I am personally excited about. It's the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip3 5G. Yes, it's fresh from the oven and we have our unit right here. We aren't going to do an unboxing though, since this is an engineering unit and it didn't come with a box. Instead, I'll be giving you my first impressions and we'll walk through some of the features of this device. So what are we waiting for? Let's just jump right in. So let's first talk about the design of this phone. Its major appeal is that, well, it folds. It adopts that clamshell design that was so popular in the 90s and now it's back, but a modern twist on it is that it's a full screen device. Now, compared to the previous Fold, this is a tougher body because of the aluminum frame, and the hinge has been reinforced as well, meaning it can take on more stress and it should last longer. Since this is a premium Samsung phone, we have a nice glass back right here and Gorilla Glass Victus up front. That is the latest in screen protection, meaning it's just harder to scratch. I've been playing around with this for about a day now and I've been flipping it open and close constantly. So far, I haven't encountered any problems and I really like how the resistance is when you close. It feels very secure and it's not at all flimsy. What I did notice with this phone though is that when you close it, you do still get this little gap in between, meaning you can get some dust in there or maybe loose threads or anything that may squeeze its way in there. It may not be a problem for some, but for clean freaks or neat freaks, you might end up with dust all around the phone when you open it. But for me personally, it's not a big issue. Now what we have here is the lavender color, which I really like. It's the soft pastel purple. And fingerprints aren't very prominent even when you put pressure on it, which is really nice since you don't have to clean your phone a lot. Now it does come in other colors. It comes in green, cream, and black here locally, but in other countries you can also get it in white and pink if I'm not mistaken. So for those who really want to be extra cute, you can get that special edition pink one straight from Samsung. Okay, so let's flip this open and talk about its display. It is similar to its previous model, which is a 6.7-inch AMOLED display, but it now has a high 120Hz refresh rate. This is something I really appreciate because the animations are just so smooth and it's so nice to look at when I'm going through my phone. The 120Hz refresh rate really isn't for everyone and some people won't want it, but I personally love that it's on this little phone that we have right here. But that's the full screen phone and it's pretty common to see something like this. What makes it interesting is that when you fold it, you will be able to utilize the two screens with some apps. So for example, I opened the gallery. So we get your usual smartphone layout right here, but flip it to an angle right here and you get two screens which you can use to operate the bottom screen, and it's really fun. It's quite a novelty to use and I really like that how flexible it is. There aren't a lot of apps yet that use this double screen natively, but Samsung is working with developers to make it more accessible so we can get more apps that use this. Apps like Google Duo and YouTube, they work perfectly with this dual screen setup. Now I know some of you are wondering if the crease in the middle is visible because it is a folding phone and it is a folding screen. I'll be honest with you guys, and yes, it is visible. You can see a dent right here, especially when light hits it. But I have been using it for a couple of hours now and I have to say it has not bothered me at all. I was watching a couple of videos on it on full screen and when you're looking at it straight on, you can barely notice that crease. It's only when there's light hitting it or when you're actually trying to look for that crease that it becomes really visible. So overall, I don't think it'll be a bother in the long run unless you're really specific on how you want your screen to look. So you have your full screen, then you have your dual screen. Close it and you have this really cool cover display, which is probably my favorite feature of the phone right now. You double tap it, you can get cute animations. You can set this in the phone what kind you want, and then if you swipe you'll also get a couple of widgets. You can see your notifications at a glance, and then you have your music controls, your calendar schedule, alarms, timer, and the weather. Compared to the previous Flip, the cover display on this one is much bigger and it's easier to use. I really like this cover display because it shows my notifications at a glance and I can decide whether or not to open my phone. It's really useful during work, for example, when I just want to check my notifications and not get distracted by other apps. Now let's talk about the cameras. What we have here is a 12 megapixel main and a 12 megapixel ultra-wide for the rear, and a 10 megapixel up front for your selfies. Now, it is exactly the same as the previous model, and on paper, doesn't really sound impressive compared to other models in its price range. But I haven't tested the cameras out in full yet, so I will save my thoughts on its picture quality in our full review. What I can show you though are some of the fun things you can do with the camera and the folding form factor. So one, you have your regular posture, which is really like this. You can do portrait or landscape, and it's just your regular old smartphone. But when you fold it, the camera app will adapt to the dual screen, and you can place it almost anywhere, any flat surface, and you can use it as a tripod. You can set the timer, or you can use the palm shutter where you can just raise your palm and it'll do a countdown. You have your Instagram boyfriend, girlfriend right here. You don't need a person to take your photos anymore. Another unique thing you can do with this folding form factor is to take photos using the cover display. Just double press the button here and it activates the camera. So you can now use the 12 megapixel cameras to take your selfies if you don't want to use the 10 megapixel one, or if you just don't want to open your phone. And what's fun about it is you can also operate it. If you want to do a video, you just swipe, and you can even choose the lens that you want. So you have your regular lens, and then if you swipe up, you have your ultra wide. If you want to take photos with your friends and you're a lot, or if you just want to take the scenery behind you, it's really possible with this. So it's really fun to use. And it's nice to have both the front-facing option and the cover display option right there. So let's move on to its internals. Powering this phone is a Snapdragon 888 5G, which is the current flagship processor. This just means that you're getting top-tier performance in heavy apps or games like Genshin Impact, for example, and you shouldn't experience much hiccups or any hiccups if possible. But of course, we're still gonna put it through its paces in our full review, so that's something to look forward to. Now, it may seem like I've been all but praises on this phone, and there are a lot of reasons to get excited about it. There is something I am quite worried about, and it's the battery life. This phone only has a 3300 milliamp hour battery, which isn't big compared to the other smartphones that you see these days. I still don't know the optimization Samsung put, and I really haven't tested it at all in full, but I'm guessing it should last about maybe a day or less depending on how much you use your phone. For charging, it does have 15 watts wired and 10 watts wireless, and also supports reverse wireless charging for peripherals like TWS earbuds and stuff like that. And we'll see how well it holds up as a daily driver in our full review. To wrap things up, I know that this isn't a significant jump from the previous model, but the upgrades that they did put are the ones that I've been using since I got this phone. Samsung's goal with these new foldables is to put them into the hands of many by lowering its price and offering more colors, and honestly, I think it'll work. But more importantly, they are addressing a need for female users like myself who want a small, cute, but still powerful phone. And that's it for our first impressions of the Galaxy Z Flip3 5G. This is really an interesting device, guys, and I'm excited to explore it in the next couple of weeks, really flesh out its features, and see what it's all about. And if you like this video, please do consider subscribing to our channel and hitting that bell icon so you can be notified when we upload new videos. And as always, please do visit our website and our other social media channels for more news, features, and reviews. Once again, I'm Vika. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.